I have some weeds to pick. As I pick these weeds, I want to talk to you guys about something. And it's about Adam, you know. And before I talk about Adam, let me tell you about myself. As you know, I'm Gardner D. And, well, I'm an American. And here in America, you know, I've grown up with this ideal of life where I just don't do anything. You know, I don't work. I just live because I'm rich, you know. I don't have to work. You know, that's left for the poor and the degenerate who need to do that to get money and stuff like that. But I just thought that if I become rich and, you know, I don't have to work, I can just enjoy life, live life. And that's what made Adam stick out so much to me, because God created Adam and he placed him in a garden, and he told him to work the garden, to keep the garden, you know, to maintain the garden. And inside of the garden was the tree of life. So by all means, Adam could have eaten from the tree of life, lived forever, and still would have had to work his whole entire life. Work for all of eternity. And when I say work, I want us to understand something about this work. Before Adam fell, before he sinned against God, he was not cursed. But after he sinned against God, Adam was cursed and the earth was cursed. And so now here I am out here trying to work the earth, work the land, and comment in the I want anyone to comment in this video if you've seen what just happened. I'm not going to say anything, but if you've seen it, if you've seen what just happened and you understood what just happened, you've seen the mistake I made. And if you catch it, I want you to comment. And if you catch it and you're the first person that do, I'm going to give you something. I got something for you. You know what I'm saying? I got something for you. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to be made a liar. But if you were on point and you caught it, the mistake I just did, then I got something for you. Anyways, back to Adam. Like I said, I'm out here picking weeds, y'all, and you know the sun is beaming, and you know sweat will come off my brow. It is not easy. Look, it's not easy, and you got to get it by the root. Whenever you're pulling weeds, you want to try to get it by the root. So that's gonna grow back, unfortunately, because I wasn't able to get it by the root. And a lot of times, depending on what tool you're using, you're not gonna be able to get it by the root. Or you may be able to get it by the root, you know. But when you don't get it by the root, it will grow back. And so Adam, when he was in his garden, he didn't sweat. The earth wasn't hard. It wasn't, you know, a burden to work with. It was very easy. It was like this, you know. That's how Adam could just move the earth. You know, it was just easy. And now it's like this, cursed. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I just was thinking about Adam, like, yo, but he would have enjoyed his work, and he wouldn't have mind working, and he wouldn't have looked at it like it was work. He wouldn't have looked at it like it was work. He would have looked at it like he's living life. So now it makes me reflect on what is actually living life. Is living life not working? Is that really the ideal? To not have to work? Because God has called us to work. He's called us to work. Even if it ain't out here in the field working the little earth, he tells us to be fishers of men. Spiritual work to be done. There's always work to be done. So there is no really day off except for one. And he gave us that day off And he told us that he had sanctified it and hallowed it. And it was and it is the Sabbath, the seventh day. He say 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. And in it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth, the sea and all that in the midst. And he rested on the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath and hallowed it. You know? And I've had corporate jobs. I've worked for Amazon. I've worked for, cell companies, home remodeling companies. I've worked with a lot of different companies, man. And that's what they want you to do. Work, overtime, more hours, work, work till you 67, retire. And that type of work is so different. To me, it's so different. It's so much more taxing than to come out here and do this. You would think to come out here and to do what I'm doing, it would be a burden. And maybe it could be if your body isn't conditioned, but I'm telling you, like, mentally, it's not a burden. Spiritually, it's not a burden. It's relaxation. It's actually therapeutic. It's very helpful. It's very needful. So be out here in nature, working with your hands, working with your mind, planning, organizing, strategizing, manifesting things, making things really come into reality. Through using processes, using nature, using things that exist to assist you in what you want to do and what you want to be and what you want to make. It's a beautiful thing, and we get a chance to experience that and be a part of that here on this earth, living life, the opportunity of life. I remember I made a video where it was like it was a song. I make music, and it was just like, a lot of people think they want to go to work. They don't really want to. They have to. You really got to, man, because if you don't, you'll be left desolate. You won't have anything. So what type of work will we do? Is the question. While we're living this earth, what type of work is most important while we're here on this earth? Working for self, working for man, working for money, working for God. What is it? Because God wants us to work. So it's something about work that's needful to the human, to our experience in life.